Okay, that's, I don't know if you can see that, but that's pretty well rusted. That's gonna, I don't know, that's pretty bad, but it doesn't eat all the way through. But are you ready for this? Here we go. Okay, this is your $500 Onkyo. Yeah, it looks pretty bad, but I believe it can be cleaned. Now these switches, they look, it's just some cobwebs, and I'm gonna get the vacuum cleaner out here. The wires, see, they're still there. Now the transformer, there's your caps, board. It actually doesn't look that bad, other than all of that stuff. Boy, it's going to have to be totally taken apart. There is some rust, but as you can see, I mean, it's just loose stuff. Now, okay, now I'm going to vacuum it out right now. So this is a before, and stand by and I'll vacuum it out. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to vacuum it out now. Okay. Actually, the bottom doesn't look too bad. It's a little rusty. I don't really know why there's not that much water in the house. Okay, I vacuumed it out. It still needs needs to be taken apart. And really gone through. Took the face off. That one right there, that knob was just spinning around, and come to find out the set screw was loose. All the knobs got to come off. All the switches got to come out. All the boards got to come out. Transformers got to come out. What a mess. My God. Anyway, there you go. That's what it looks like. Okay. There's your balance that was screwed up. Here's the bent treble bass, and I have to look at the board, but anyway, here's the board out. Here's your volume knob right there. That's your volume knob. Everything's labeled, and there's a stripe on the wire. There's the front face bezel that everything bolts onto, and then this. And that side piece bolts on the side there. There's the circuit board. Notice the underside looks good, but there's rust on the frame a little bit. Now I'm tearing everything out of the frame so I can repaint the frame. There's your power switch right here. And Everything needs to be clean. Here's a headphone jack. That's something. I got to look at the faceplate. There's wire C. Notice the wire has a stripe on it. Well, on the circuit board, let's just grab one of these. And if you look at this plug here, let's just say this plug, and you see that white dot right there next, I don't know if it's focused or not, but anyway, there's a little white dot on the board right next to this plug. Well, that's the stripe on the cord, and there's a number on there too. Don't know if you can see it. It says C, no, that's the capacitor. Oh, jumper lead so and so, and on the other side of on this board it'll say the same number. So it's basically, oh yeah, and that's the phono amp and CD. This is the phono and the CD and tuner, photo, tuner, and CD, and they all go through this preamp. That's your preamp board. Okay, so that's the preamp board. This board here is BCR, video monitor out, blah blah blah. That's what this is. Okay. Then you got your LEDs with the buttons, which are right here. Here's all the switches. Look at all those plugs. God. Okay, there's your switches. They all need to be sprayed out probably. I really don't know how to get my spray thing in there, but we'll figure something out. All the buttons and switches work. Let's see, let me flip this over here. Okay, there's your finals. There's the power supply. This goes to that right there. All this right here. All this. I need to clip all of these things off so I can get those off the back of this back here. Get the speaker jacks off the back panel. That'll come off. Then this board, this whole board will come out of this frame. And this right here, that block with the power thing, that'll come out. And the transformer, this power supply board. Here's your power supply board, your power on switch. There's the death capacitor. Speaker wires going to, oh, that's your A and B selector right here, I guess. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now there's a big old hole in there. I can get my spray gun in that. This can come out. See how everything comes out of everything? And this whole board will come out of this frame all in one piece. And then I could take the power supply out of this. Then I'm going to take this to work, sand it down, primer it, repaint it. Now the back here, it's kind of grody looking, but I don't want to paint over this because I don't want to paint over that. I'll paint over like around the edges maybe, like this. But I'm going to leave all this like that and try and clean it up as best I can. Okay, that's your Onkyo, or I guess mine now. I don't know. Yeah, boy. Actually, the circuit board's fairly decently clean. Okay, well, that's your front, that's the side, that's your switches, that's the balance treble volume. There's some switch buttons and some lights right there. There's, let's see, the lights right there. There's your power, your preamp board. phono preamp board and CD and tuner board plug-in, and that's the AV jacks, speaker jacks right there. They're all going to be cleaned. It ain't going to look brand new, but by God, I'm going to try and get it to look brand new. Anyway, that's okay. So the board's out. I labeled some wires. Those wires are already pre-labeled on the board. There's your finals. You got 2, 4 for one channel and 2, 4 for the other channel. Each chip is 25 watts. So you got 50, 100. 100 for that side, 100 watts for that side. All of these are, hear that? They're all corroded. These don't look bad. Oh, God. There's your, man. This stuff needs to be cleaned bad. Okay, there's the back. You can tell what it looks like. Look at the rust. There's the front plate right here. That's the front. And this is the other part of the front. It goes like this. Like that. And all this needs to be sanded down. And here's the power supply. Right there. And there's, look at that. Just look at that thing of beauty right there. 30 years did this. And a water cooler. Oh boy. Well, there's all the screws. And there's all the clips that I cut off right there. There's the LED lights. Preamp board. Oh boy. And that's your switches, and those are the lights. Hope I can get this thing back together when I clean this stuff up. I don't know what that says. All I know is this thing is like 30 years old. Okay, so that's what it looks like tore apart. The Onkyo Integra 100 watt per channel stereo. And there it is. 100 watts. Okay, all the wires are in, all plugged back in except for those two. They come from the volume control right there. These two right here. And I had to take the plug. Where's the plug at? This. I had to take that out because all the pins are all jacked up and bent and stuff. It's probably my fault. And so I desoldered it from the board and just hardwired the ribbon into the board. That's soldered. All these, they're all clipped in. That comes from the volume control right there. Ground wire. Everything's clipped. Kind of cheap if you ask me, but I don't know. That's in back there. Okay, that's where I am so far. Nice clean board. Everything's clipped back in. That took about 2 hours to do that. And that clip right there had some problems. It was loose, so I got a stick pin and spread out the things, and then I used the clip, and then this plugs in here. So that's what I've done in 2 hours. Reconfigure, redo everything. And that plug right there, that comes from the volume knob too, probably. Or something, I'll figure that out. Okay, so it's okay, I did the best I could. Everything's hooked up. Everything's hooked up. All screwed on, faces on. I mean the bezel's on. Nice clean board. Speaker things are hooked up. This is hooked up. That's on. The knob is rebent straight now. Hopefully it's straight as I can get it anyway. I sprayed all the stuff with a deoxit. I don't know if this has any trouble because I haven't turned it on yet, but we'll find out eventually. These are all deoxited, cleaned. Volume knob's nice and smooth. This was a bear getting all of this together and put in, but it's all back. It's all hooked up now. All this stuff on this side's hooked up. Now I got to worry about the power supply. Put the power supply in and then wiring that up. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. I tell you, this thing is nice and clean now, but it was whatever. I had to directly solder one of these, then all these others went in okay. All these plugs. Okay, now I'm working on getting the power supply back up. Okay, this goes to the power switch, and that powers the board, and there's some wires underneath, and I'll show later. Now, that's where that goes. Okay, now this is a pain in the ass to get in. I mean, it's right here, like that. It's right there. It just bolt screws on there. And of course, I got to take that back off again. That's another thing. Oh boy. I might be able to do it without taking a bunch of stuff off. Just undo these screws here. And not even touch that. And just take these screws off the board. And the board should flip out. Then I can get to it. Okay, now that thing there, that's supposed to go through the back like this and clip in. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this thing through here this way, like this. Nope, I don't think so. Yep, I gotta. Oh boy. Now watch that transformer get in the way. Okay, I'm gonna work on that. Okay, now I've already done the power supply on the top. Now I'm underneath, hooking everything back up.
Information comes out about this, give me a shout at Lookner on Twitter. Let me know your thoughts.
I got the D wire hooked up.
But
And
again,
I'm hooking up
this
the,
is happening tonight.
what I labeled anyway. Now I'm hooking these up. There's shrink tube, everything. This goes over here. This goes right here.
Her account was permanently suspended, which would mean banned. But we have seen several of the
this one here goes right here. And then it'll be hooked up. And that's what I'm doing right now. It's almost done. And it's weird because I only got one screw left. I don't know what happened to the case screws. I thought I had them all in a bag, but I used all the screws, all the mounting screws. They're all on there. I don't know where the other screws went. Oh well, I'll just get screws. There's 1, 2, 3, and some on the back for the top. And that's about all I know. But it's getting done. Okay, that's the Onkyo 100 watt per channel. Okay, I am now done with the bottom wiring. Took about 30 minutes on and off. So that's done now. Everything's put back together. I got one screw and one plate to put in. Wherever that goes, I'll find out. It's some kind of a plate that I think it goes next to the power switch or something. And screw. Well, anyway, okay, that part's done. Okay, it's time to put the face and the knobs on and everything. It's getting to that time. So, stand by. I will now put the face on. Okay, I got the face on. All the knobs are set right. Everything's back together on the front. That was a pain in the ass right there, because they all had to line up perfectly. All these buttons work. Okay, next step is put the bottom on with the feet and the top cover, but the top cover needs to be painted. Okay, just got done painting the case, inner case, so that's done. Okay, so I gotta let that dry and then paint the outer part black. I got black for that, and it's all put back together. It's all put back together, nice and clean. Couldn't really do anything about that, but that transformer, I mean, I guess I could brush paint it, but I cleaned it off. Everything else is nice and almost brand new looking. This cable right here, this is the one that goes to the volume knob, so I hope everything works. I hope that all went in and all the pins are getting contact. Okay, all the buttons. This light here doesn't want to come on, but this light here does when I hit one of these buttons. That light comes on. This light does not come on. All these little lights, they come on. All these lights for these, they come on. So, and I can't really test it because I don't have any components to plug into it. But other than that, it didn't blow. I plugged it in. I'm going to plug it in right now. Okay, let me plug it in. Plug this thing in. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn on the power. Alright. That light works. That light glare. Okay, that works. That works. That works. That works. That works. That one works. That one works. And that one works. Okay, now for these lights. That works. That works. That works. And then that works. Let's see. Trying to get that second one to come on. I know it came on. Let's see. Well, anyway, I know it works. So it's on right now. These aren't getting hot. I can feel heat. Yeah, I can feel heat coming off of the transistor. Ow! Those two resistors right there are hot. So those two resistors are hot. I don't know if that's really normal or not, but they are hot. Then there's these two over here. They aren't as hot. So that might be a problem. I don't know yet. But those two here are getting hot, and these two here. Now I know I wired everything up right. And these two here are not. So I don't know. I just don't know. But other than that, those two resistors down there are getting hot, and these two are cold. So I have no knowledge. So that's where I am now. Got the feet on, got the bottom plate on. I got that painted. That's about all I can do. Without components, I can't really test it. I can test voltages coming out of the speaker jacks, I guess, but I guess that'll be the next thing I do. So, it's almost done. Okay, this is the finished product as far as I can go. The case is painted, the inside carcass is painted, everything's cleaned up, everything's nice and clean in there, everything's done as far as I can go. All the knobs are on there. The only light that wouldn't come on is this one here, which is the servo operation light. Now, I don't know if that ever came on. I don't know. Anyway, the case is painted. Everything's done as far as I can go without taking it to a tech and have them figure out why them two resistors are getting hot. But anyway, there it is. The end.